The movie opens with a scene where a man is crying out loud. He remembers his life, which was 6 days ago. In a flashback, a man whose name is Mert is standing in his home watching a video with his girlfriend, who plays the violin. The girl's name is Perry. Suddenly his phone rings and he receives the call. It was Perry's call. She asks him to bring her white dress and her violin when he comes. He picks up the white dress from the cupboard and packs it in a suitcase. He sits in a car and heads toward the hospital. There he accidentally bumps into a woman coming out of the hospital room. The woman's name is Yildiz and she works in the hospital as a nurse. He walks into the corridor and spots his aunt in a room. Her name is Semele and she is bald. Mert gives her flowers which he had in his hands. He goes near her aunt and sits beside her. She asks him about Perry. He informs her that she is not doing fine and he is scared of losing her. Semele recites some verses from the holy book and convinces Mert that there's no such thing as losing a person. Mert says thanks to her and goes to another room. He comes in excitedly but turns around as soon as he sees Perry. She was bald now and Mert can't look at her. She questions him about her new hairstyle. Mert hesitates to look at her as he shivers. He wipes his tear and turns around to look at her. He has tears in his eyes but lies to her that she looked very beautiful and incredible. He tells her that he bought her flowers which he had to give to her aunt before coming to meet her. He reminds himself that he needs to hold her hand in the difficult time. Perry asks him to give her the violin as she missed it. Mert looks at her while she plays the violin. He thinks that he has lost his lover's face as he couldn't recognize her real face since she got bald. A woman walks on the street. Her name is Yildiz, which means a star. Her mother always wanted to be a star. She was a singer and had sold 647 copies of her album. Her mother's name is Melek. Yildiz goes to her house when she is on a lunch break from her duty. She goes to the kitchen and prepares a tray of food. She comes to her mother who is singing to a bunch of stuffed toys. She orders her mother to sit and eat food. Her mother is clumsy and she mistakenly throws the tray on the floor. Yildiz is irritated by her habits and scolds her. She goes back to the hospital and her boss angrily questions her about why she was late. She makes an excuse and goes out of her room. On the other hand, in the hospital when Perry finishes playing her tune, Mert applauds and cheers for her. He also compliments her on her skills. He informs her that there is a question he would like to ask. Perry interrupts him and tells him that if it is related to her disease then she will recover from it quickly. She tells him that she has suffered from it before. That is why this time it will be easier to handle it. Mert gets up from the bed and sits on his knees holding Perry's hand. He takes out a ring from his pocket and proposes to her if she will marry him. At first, she says yes and Mert puts the ring in Perry's finger. She informs him that she will only marry him on one condition. Mert asks about the condition and she informs him that she wants his dad to be at the wedding. She wants to walk with him on the aisle at the wedding. Mert gets furious and informs her that he hasn't talked to him in years. He tells her that this condition is impossible. She remains solid on the condition and strictly informs him that she will only marry him if he is able to fulfill this condition. She removes the ring and gives it back to Mert. She tells him to wear the blue shirt which she got for him as it looks good on him. After some time, Perry lays on the bed while Mert sits beside her. She pretends to sleep so he leaves a note for her, kisses her cheek and leaves. Yildiz stands and sees what Mert and Perry were doing. When Mert leaves, Yildiz comes in. Perry sees the note and reads it. Yildiz questions her about why did he leave the note. She informs Yildiz that he does not like to say goodbye. He is afraid if he tells her goodbye then he won't be able to find her ever. Later, Yildiz goes home and searches for her mother. She can't find her mother inside the house so she goes outside on the street and searches for her. She keeps finding her until she comes across a bridge where she was sitting and singing. Yildiz is frustrated as she returned from home and was annoyed because of her mother. She questions her about why does she such things irritate her. Her mother does not respond and keeps singing. The next day, Mert changes into the blue shirt which Perry gave to him, and goes to leave for his village. He calls her on the phone and informs her that he is leaving for Rise. Perry is happy and says bye to him. Yildiz goes to the hospital and performs her duties. She enters Perry's room and checks her blood pressure for medical reasons. All of a sudden a person picked up Perry's violin, and was taking it in the trash along with him. Perry screamed to stop the person so Yildiz goes to him and says that she is going to pass away soon. But he does not let go of her violin. Perry heard what she said and she became upset. Mert arrives at this village in a wooden cabin, where he meets his brother whose name is Emir. He meets his brother after a long time. They chat for a while when their father arrives and asks for a coffee. His brother prepares the coffee to give it to him, but Mert insists to hand him the coffee himself. He goes to his father with a cup of coffee in his hands and places it on the table. His father sees that Mert has brought the coffee, he throws the cup, and the coffee spills on the table. His father calls him incompetent and goes away. Mert is upset about it as he wants to sit with his father and talk. He goes to a man who advises him to perform a Hasid prayer, which will help him to get what he wants immediately, as the prayer is performed when a person wants something fast. Later, he walks around the village when Perry video calls him. He is happy that she called him and he shows her the place where he used to work. He informs her that he performed prayer and saw his dad. He expects that his prayer will get accepted immediately. Perry asks him not to give up as his dad will talk to him soon now. While she is talking to Mert, Yildiz comes into the room to check her blood pressure. She sits beside her and she introduces Yildiz to Mert. She refers to her as her friend. Yildiz checks her blood pressure, which became normal. Perry in joke tells her that her boyfriend is the cure to her wellness, but can be the reason for her suffering from cancer too. She asks her if she has a boyfriend. Yildiz says no and explains that she has a sick mother, who suffers from Alzheimer's and can't remember anything. On the other hand, Mert goes to his brother's house, which his father bought him. They live together in the village. He talks to his brother when his father arrives. He goes out to talk to his father, but he angrily goes into the house and bangs the door shut. At night, Mert keeps sitting on the house door. His father is sitting near the window. Mert keeps insisting that he wants to talk to him, but his father does not listen to him. After a lot of Mert's effort, his father gets up from his place, and he throws a bucket filled with water at Mert. In the hospital, Perry calls a man named Dr. Selkuk. She informs him that she will be performing for the patients in the hospital and she invited him to her performance. Dr. Selkuk agrees to join her at her performance. Later, Yildiz comes to her, and they both talk. Perry asks her what she thinks about Dr. Selkuk. She tells Perry that she does not know and it might be fate that they met. While Perry makes her understand that it's not fate, and that she needs to work for what she wants. Yildiz agrees with her, she gives her medicines and leaves. Later, Perry calls Mert. She asks him about his father again. Mert is soaked in water and he informs her that he is being stubborn and not talking to him. He asks her about her performance. She informs that it was epic and the patients were very happy to hear her play the violin. Yildiz's shift is over from the hospital, and she signs off to leave and get some rest at her home. Suddenly, Dr. Selkuk also arrives there and they have a little conversation. He checks his schedule and sees that he has an off the next day. Yildiz also had an off day. He asks her to go watch a movie with him the next night. Yildiz is delighted and she says yes. The next morning, Mert is sitting in his brother's cabin when his father arrives to have a coffee. His father sits at another table. Mert sees him, gets up from his table, and sits where his father is sitting to talk. His father sees him and turns his face away. Mert tells him that he did not come to him by his wish. His father argues that he did not invite him to come. Mert informs him that there's an important situation in Istanbul and he needs to come there. His father furiously refuses. Mert tries to convince him, but his father is angry that he still calls him his father, as he had forgotten about him in the past days. He gets up and leaves the place. Afterward, Yildiz arrives home. She sees her mother singing to the stuffed toys again. She kisses her mother on her cheek and removes one of the toys which she sings to. She sits down and applauds for her. When she finishes her song, Yildiz requests her to sing a song for her. Her mother sings a song for her and they both sing together. Mert video calls Perry. She looked tired and drained, so he asks her about her condition. She informs him that there's nothing wrong with her, she is just tired. While they both are talking, Emir arrives to give Mert tea. He sees him talking to Perry. Mert calls him and introduces her to his brother. He makes a small prayer for her and tells her that she will be well soon. While they are talking, Perry's doctor arrives. Her name is Dr. Gull. Mert tells Emir that he needs to be with her as soon as possible as she does not look good. The doctor changes Perry's serum. Mert informs Emir that Perry is struggling with her life. She needs him, but he is distressed that he can't leave without talking to his father. While they are talking, Perry is still on the video call. All of a sudden, blood comes out of her nose and Mert sees it. He is very worried about her and runs to his father again. He sees him sitting near a window in his house. It begins to rain and Mert keeps screaming to call out for his father. He begs him to talk to him as he was in desperate need. His father does not listen to him. Mert's anger grows and he throws stuff which was outside his father's house. He gets on his knees and cries. He begs God to not separate his fairy from him as he will lose all the tales he imagined with her. Suddenly he sneezes. His father comes out and wraps a blanket around him. 10 years ago, in a flashback, Mert is a young boy. One day he returns home late when his father questions him why he was late. Mert does not reply to him. His father questions him again when he tells him that he has no right to question, as he has found the truth. He informs his father that the grave he used to go to is his real father's grave. The man pretended to be his father and lied to him, that it is Mert's uncle. Mert is furious and he tells his pretending father that he is a liar. His father slaps him and he falls to the ground. He scolds him and shouts at him that if he walks out the door then he will disown him and never call him back again. Mert decided to leave his father forever and never return the day he walked out of the door. Presently, when he is out in the rain, his father tells him that his sons cannot catch a cold. Mert sneezes again and his father offers that there is soup inside. So Mert goes in and talks to his dad. He tells him about Perry, that she is sick and will pass away, so he needed him to meet her as she has requested. The next day, Mert calls Perry. He asks her about how she was as he has been worried, because he saw her bleeding from her nose. She informs him that she is alright and asks about what happened with his father. He informs that he talked to him and he will come to Istanbul soon, but on a train, as he has refused to come on a plane. Perry is happy to hear this, as now Mert will be coming home with his father, and they can get married. After talking to her, Mert cuts the call. He shaves his head, believing that it can change his fate. He prays again to never let Perry go away from him, as he loved her very much. Soon, Yildiz arrives and she is concerned about Perry, as she heard from the staff about Perry's condition. She tells Perry that it must be because of low sugar levels, so she should check it. While she is checking her, Perry notices that she looked fresh and happy. She asks her about how things are going with Dr. Selçuk. Yildiz informs her that Dr. Selçuk asked her to go for the movies, but she is confused to go because of her mother. She is difficult to handle at night. Perry offers to help her and asks that she would perform and play her violin, while she can bring her mother and she can sing for the audience. Yildiz is very happy to hear this and agrees with Perry. A woman approaches Dr. Gull's room and hands over Perry's medical reports to her. Dr. Gull sees the report, which created tension for her. She stares at the reports carefully and orders the woman to get the reports checked again. While Yildiz and Dr. Selçuk sign off from their shift, Yildiz's boss arrives. She seems to like Dr. Selçuk and talks to him. She asks him if he was free tonight, to which he says yes. She asks to go out with him as she is also free. Yildiz understands that she is flirting with him. He sees Yildiz and refuses her, as he says he has committed to be with someone. Yildiz's boss looks at her and goes away, informing them that she has a boyfriend too. The next day, Yildiz goes home and sits with her mother. She informs her that she will take her out today to perform for some audience. Hearing this, her mother is very happy and jumps with excitement to get herself ready. At night, Yildiz and her mother arrive at the hospital. She introduces Perry to her mother. Her mother and Perry both perform for the audience at the hospital. Dr. Selçuk spots Yildiz and meets her. They sit together as they watch their performance. Dr. Selçuk offers that they can stay there if she wants to and skip the movie plan. Yildiz happily agrees and they talk for a while. After their performance was over, the audience clapped for them. All of a sudden, Perry falls on the floor, dropping her violin. She bleeds from her mouth and faints. Dr. Selçuk and Yildiz rush to her to pick her up. The next day, Mert is coming back to Istanbul. He is on a bus. He can't wait to meet his fairy and start a new life with her. His father rests his head on Mert's shoulder during the trip. Soon, he comes to the hospital and meets Yildiz. He questions how Perry is. She informs him that she threw blood from her mouth last night. Mert rushes to her room and sees her on a ventilator. He meets her and is very worried about her. He introduces her to his father and goes to get a glass of water for her, leaving his father and Perry alone. His father steps closer to Perry and meets her. They both talk about Mert returning back to his father because of her. He says thanks to her, as because of her he got his son back, who moved away about 10 years ago. Perry tells him that she is just a reason to get them back together, and nothing much happened because of her. Mert's father informs her that they were very worried about her, and that if God wills, then they would live happily together once she gets well. In a flashback, Perry is sitting on a bench when Mert's father approaches her and has a seat beside her. He tells her that he is Mert's father and that he would like to meet his son again, as he waits for him every day but he never arrives. He gives Perry a blue shirt and tells him to give it to Mert. It's the same blue shirt he wore while going to the village. Soon, Mert arrives and he gives her a glass of water. She takes a sip. Mert tells her that he has fulfilled her condition and now asks her to marry him. He takes out the ring from his pocket and puts it on her finger. He kisses her hand. Mert's father leaves the room saying congratulations to both of them. Mert sits beside her and holds her face. He tells her that he loves her very much, and she tells him that she loves him too. After a while, Mert sleeps on a chair. He wakes up to Perry wearing a white dress and playing her violin. Mert asks her to go to bed as she can catch a cold, but she smiles and keeps playing the violin. Suddenly, several doctors rush into the room and Mert sees Perry fading away. She sees the bed and she lays very still. The doctors set up the electric shock machine as a letter slips from a book, and Mert picks it up to read. He cries aloud and screams her name. The doctors give her an electric shock a lot of times, but she passed away. While the doctors try to save her, Mert cries in pain and reads her letter, which said that she finds life a beautiful piece that was cut short. She was glad that piece has Mert in it. She says that people are not aware of the precious things they hold in life in their hands, and they don't know their value. She thinks that she is lucky to have this life, as she could have lost her life in an accident but had no chance to fight. She informs Mert that her heart will keep beating for him forever. She wanted a last chance from God as she wanted to be a mother. She wanted to bear Mert's child, but now as she is no more in this world, she asks Mert to have a child and be his hero. Mert falls on the floor reading the letter as tears roll down his cheeks. He remembers all the flashbacks and good memories that he had with her. He screams her name out loud as Yildiz lays a sheet on her face. She comes to Mert and hugs him to console him and refrain him from crying. But he doesn't stop as he loved her unconditionally. Later, Mert's father goes to the grave of his brother, who is Mert's actual father. He talks on his grave and tells him that his brother's son is his son. While Yildiz found the love of her life, Dr. Selçuk, and they both would listen to her mother's songs. In the end, Mert remains drowned in the sorrow of Perry leaving this world.